G'day, it's Alex here, Victor Kilo 2, Papa Radio Charlie, making another video today on the Clansman series of radios. And today we're looking at the 351 radio, and in particular we're looking at a surf unit, selective unit that the radio uses to tune in antennas precisely. So look, I've got a surf unit here that's been given to me by a good friend, and he claims the surf unit doesn't work. So he asked me to have a bit of a look and see what I could do. So I've got the surf unit connected where a surf unit would normally be connected, the output of the radio. I've got it to the input of the surf unit, and then from the output of the surf unit, I've got over there to my dummy load with a bit of a watt meter on the front. Messy bench, but that's the way it is. Okay, so I've got the radio turned on at the moment, and I've got it on L, which is local, and it's not making a noise, psst, like it does when you put it on the hash. But inevitably it's on. Okay, so just giving the radio a bit of the radio a bit of signal here. So right, let's have a look at what's happening. So I've got it tuned by the tuning knob there, and let's have a look at what the watt meter's doing. So there we go. It's producing power into a 50 ohm load, which is good. But here's the problem with it. Check out the meter. It's getting stuck. Okay. Now look, this is not the first time that I've come across a surf unit that's actually been working but had a crook meter. To get another meter, especially here in Australia, is so expensive with postage, etc., that it's prohibitive. So I'm saying to myself at this point, there must be something I can do, because I can't repair the meter. They seem to be a sealed unit. I have no spares. I'm not going to pull another selective unit and rob the meter out of it. So there must be something that I can do to replace the meter with some sort of an indication of some sort that that this thing is tuned, and do virtually the same as what the meter does. So before we move on to doing a few tests to find out what we can possibly use, let's have a look at the circuit diagram for the surf unit and see how it sort of works. Okay, here we go. Looking at the circuit diagram for the selective unit. Input, output. This part of the circuit is the tuning part of the circuit. It's got a linked inductor, variable, and capacitors that are controlled by the thumb wheel. So as this gets tuned, the RF current will increase or decrease depending on tuning or detuning, and that will be reflected in a varying current voltage applied to the metering part of the circuit as well, down here through this linked inductor. Okay, so when we look at the metering part of the circuit, naturally we've got our little meter here, which is faulty in our case. It looks like we've got a bit of a rectification happening through these diodes, a bit of a voltage divider, a bit of a capacitor pump up, so to speak, and this looks like a bit of a limiting current resistor, and this particular resistor would probably be a dedicated value, so that the meter would read, somewhere around about the 12 o'clock level for fully tuned. So it's a bit of a calibration sort of a resistor. But I'm saying to myself, can we somehow, I'm thinking an LED, put an LED in this part of the circuit somewhere that will increase and decrease brightness level with tuning and detuning. And when I look at the circuit diagram, there's an easy to get point there, test point right there. And that test point is on the rectified side of the diodes. So we're getting a bit of a DC level at the test point before the voltage divider, etc., to the meter. So I'm going to sort of look carefully at this test point here and put an LED between the test point and ground, and see if it acts in a similar fashion to the meter. And if that's the case, I can save this surf unit, and there may be plenty of people out there in the world that have got crook surf units where the meters are buggered, and well, they can be repaired, or an alternative to the meter installed. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab an LED, and I'm going to put it between the test point and ground, tune up the surf unit into a dummy load and we'll see how we go. Okay, we're back here on the bench. I've temporarily connected the LED with the anode to the test point, and the test point is right there, very easy to find. So I've got it connected up as before. So let's see if the LED actually works and monitor it when I give it a bit of a tune. Hello, look at that. Off and up to full brilliance. Wow. And let's do it again. Yep. And I'm just watching the watt meter, and it's coinciding perfectly with the tuning to be maximum brightness on the LEDs, giving me maximum power over there on the watt meter. So it's working very, very well. I'm very pleased with that. Very good. So the next step is I'm going to remove the meter and make a small bezel in there to take the 10mm LED. Hopefully I can fit a 10mm LED. If I can't, I'll go for a smaller one. I'm going to fit it in place of the in the meter, and we'll have a look at the final sort of product. Okay, let's have a bit of a look at what I've done here. I grabbed myself a 10mm stainless steel washer that the 10mm LED fits neatly into, and using 2-part epoxy araldite, I've glued the washer into the inside of the hole because I need the depth for the LED to be able to close the little trapdoor, and glued the LED into the washer. Okay. Now, as far as the wiring is concerned, I've actually used the existing wiring that was used for the meter. The earth connection is common, so I've used that, and I removed the metering wire from that connection there, and just extended it and brought it over onto the test point. So I'm using the 2 wires. So the anode of the LED onto the orange wire, and the cathode onto the blue wire. So let's just have a bit of a look at what it looks like from the front. Okay, I'll just open that little trapdoor. That looks quite attractive in there. Fits in there nicely. Okay, and the little door closes, which is great. So let's just put it on the radio and have a bit of a tune up and have a look and see exactly how it performs. Okay, I've got it connected up again, out of the radio, into the surf unit, out of the surf unit, into my dummy load over there that has a meter on it. Okay, so a bit hard to do this with one hand, pushing the PTT and turning the wheel, but let's have a look. So there, it's pretty well tuned right there at the moment. See the watt meters up there a bit. So I'll just see if I can tune it down. Just tuning it down, tune it back up again. Perfect. Exactly the same as a meter. So there you go. And looking at the meter there, peaks at the highest point. Absolutely perfect. One surf unit saved from the bin. Okay, so anybody out there that's got a similar problem with a dud meter on their surf unit, a very, very simple fix. So just a quick summary: 10mm LED, 10mm stainless washer, remove the meter, change the wire over from the position there to the test point 1, connect it onto the LED, and hey presto, you got yourself a working surf unit again. Very, very good. I'm very happy with that, and I'm sure the chap that I just fixed this up for will be very happy as well. Okay, all back together. And guess what? It reminds me, I got one of my own that's got a dead meter that I've taken out a couple of years ago. So next job, fix mine. Thank you very much again for watching, and catch us all in the air. This is Victor Kilo 2, Papa Radio Charlie saying 73.